disagree. It's almost like when we first met. Oh, I don't care, it's getting too late. I want you and I can't wait. Don't wanna spend a minute without you. I know you feel the same. So come on, give me love. I'ma show you how to move with my body. Come hit me with your touch and make me wanna say, damn. And yeah, you know what's up. Ain't nothing I won't do for your body. So give me all you got right now. I know I'm yours, baby. So come give me love. You know you're mine, baby. So come give me love. I never felt nothing quite like this. I get a high every time we kiss. Can't get enough, baby. So come give me love. All of your love, I can't fake it. When I'm with you, my legs go weak. Yeah. Can you hear it? I think my heart just skipped a beat. Yeah. This feeling is getting so strong. Love me till the morning, love me all night long. There's something special about you. You're the one that I want. So come on, give me love. I'ma show you how to move with my body. Come hit me with your touch and make me wanna say, damn. And yeah, you know what's up. Ain't nothing I won't do for your body. So give me all you got right now. I know I'm yours, baby. So come give me love. You know you're mine, baby. So come give me love. I never felt nothing quite like this. I get a high every time we kiss. Can't get enough, baby. So come give me love. All of your love. Won't you love me till the morning? Love me in the evening. You know what I want. Won't you hold me like I'm yours? Show me that I'm yours. You know just what I want. Won't you love me like the last time? Like our time was right now. Show me what it's about. Love me till the morning. Love me in the evening. You know what I want. I know I'm yours, baby. So come give me love. You know you're mine, baby. So come give me love. I never felt nothing quite like this. I get a high every time we kiss. Can't get enough, babe. So come give me love. All of your love. Won't you love me till the morning? Love me in the evening. You know what I want. Won't you hold me like I'm yours? Show me that I'm yours. You know just what I want. Won't you love me like the last time? Like our time was right now. Show me what it's about. Love me till the morning. Love me in the evening. You know what I want. All of your love.
Okay, good morning, and let's get started. Good morning, good morning. Happy Thursday to you. And as always, my pleasure to be with you. Let's get this thing started this morning. I want to talk about numerous things, but I have a question for you. How much will it mean if Biden nominates a black woman to the Supreme Court? There's been a lot of conversation about what the Biden administration has and has not delivered, in particular for black voters. And this was a campaign promise that Joe Biden made. Said that, I'd be very proud to be the president that elects the first black woman or nominates the first black woman to the U.S. Supreme Court, which is a lifetime appointment. And we know just how important the Supreme Court is. So I want to ask you, I want to ask black voters, again, how much will it mean? Will it mean anything? You might be like, man, we don't care about no Supreme Court, Nate. Why should we care about the Supreme Court? Well, I'll tell you why and what that could mean and give you a strong opinion about it in just a couple of minutes. 513 873 7134. And the trial has begun for three ex-cops who were present when Derek Chauvin killed George Floyd. And you might not believe some of the things the defense is saying. Quite interesting. We'll get into that. That's a case that everybody had their eyes on going back to the summer of, what was that, 2020, right? The summer of social unrest. And what do you think should happen with these three officers? Speaking of officers, just yesterday we got a chance to speak with the highest ranking Black female officer in the Cincinnati Police Department, Captain Danita Pettis, and didn't really get a chance to process all of your reactions. I saw some of them, but I want to get your thoughts this morning at 513-873-7134. As we get the show started, I also want to remind you today's show is brought to you in part by our friends over at Renew Community Church. They do a live stream Sunday morning masterclass at 11:45 a.m. And as you can see there, you can tap in on Facebook at facebook.com, Cincy Renew. That's Cincy, C-I-N-C-I Renew. And on YouTube at Renew Community Church live stream. And I'll talk more about it in just a little bit. Good morning to you. Oh, it's frigid outside. Ooh, I had to bundle up in here, man. Wow. I keep it just a little bit cold in the studio. I'm not sure what that voice is. Just because of the equipment. Let me stop. What the hell am I doing? I don't do voices. Good morning to you. And of course, we are just a day closer to the Bengals' first AFC Championship game in a long, long time. You may have been planning to go down to Paul Brown Stadium. It was Hamilton County Commissioner Alicia Reese, I believe, that suggested that the county or the city or the Bengals have a big watch party at the stadium. And I'm thinking, other than COVID, that's a damn good idea. But it looks like that's not going to happen because the idea came up and they didn't have enough time and resources to make it happen. And I'm like, wait a minute. See, we don't have that. We're not used to winning. We're not used to winning with the Bengals. To me, that's a no-brainer. Of course you're going to have a watch party at Paul Brown Stadium. That's a no-brainer to me. But we're so unaccustomed to winning that people are so caught up with the rapture of it that they're not even really thinking, right? So that's not going to happen because they just couldn't piece it together. And I'm like, y'all should have been thinking about this 2 games ago, man. You got to prepare for the future. You know how it is. You prepare for the worst and hope for the best. No, you prepare for the best and hope for the what? Something like that, right? Maurice Rice, yeah, it's cold. I think it's 24 degrees outside. Yeah, something like that. Great to be alive, though. It's great to be alive to just say it's cold. Trust me, my friends. Trust me, my friends. It is not to be played with. I also got some local news as to what to expect from housing policy from our new city council this year. Actually, some really interesting ideas. I'll be reaching out for some interviews from some of the newly elected council persons to get their thoughts. What are they now, like a month or so, a few weeks on the job? That's enough time. That's enough time. That's more than enough time. But of course, the big news story since we were on yesterday is the fact that Joe Biden, Supreme Court Justice Stephen Breyer is going to be stepping away. He's going to retire from the court, and that's going to pave the way for Joe Biden to nominate someone else. And it looks as if Joe Biden is going to follow his campaign promise, and he is going to nominate a Black woman to the Supreme Court. And I'd like to know if you believe, well, how much does that matter? Like for people out there, let's say let me describe somebody. This may or may not be you, but if it's you, I want to get your thoughts. Are you the kind of person that has been dissatisfied in the first year of the Biden administration? You're dissatisfied with the amount of specific policy for your particular interests, whatever they might be, right? Are you the kind of person, like when they talk about poll numbers, if they called you, then you would have an unfavorable view of Joe Biden as well. If you're that person, I'd like to know how you feel in particular about the fact that Joe Biden could potentially nominate the first black woman to the Supreme Court. Now, we don't really talk about a Supreme Court a lot. I just feel like progressives and even among like black voters, you don't hear a lot of talk about that. You hear way more talk about like reparations than you do hear people talking about the Supreme Court. Now, on the other side, the conservatives, like the anti-abortion conservatives, the same ones that held their nose and supported Donald Trump because he was a cultural warrior and he said he loves the babies, even though he's been multiple times divorced and paying off porn stars or adult entertainment workers for his hookups. No matter what his real morality was, because he was a warrior against abortion, they rode with him. And they rode with him because they wanted to have sympathetic judges on the Supreme Court. That's long-time strategy, man. Some of these people have been working on those issues and trying to get like anti-abortion, Roe v. Wade justices on the Supreme Court for 20 years. They're not new to this. But we don't really talk about that. I don't really hear a lot of black voters talking about that. I hear black voters talking about other stuff, but I don't hear them talking a whole lot of like, we got to think about the Supreme Court. And I hear some people talking about that. I'm painting with a broad brush here. All right, call me Picasso. I'm painting with a broad brush, but I'm just saying, generally speaking, I don't really hear that. But here we are, and again, I want to get your thoughts about it because there's been a lot of conversation, primarily within black media, about the failures of the Joe Biden administration. Oh, people love to talk about it. Okay, well, here's an opportunity for Joe to stand up for one of his campaign promises. This is something that is within his control. Of course, it has to go through the Senate committee, but things are looking positive. On that same in that same conversation, I've read, and I think Glenn called in and said something about this last week, that Joe Biden has appointed a record number of federal judges in his first year, and there's been a significant portion of them have been minorities, women, people of color, black people, to these federal judgeships. And now here we go with the Supreme Court. And oh, by the way, of course, you got Kamala Harris. People forget about that. First time ever. So I want to get your thoughts. I mean, is that going to change your opinion? Is it going to solidify your opinion? Or are you just still more on the fence? Like, nah, if we don't get that George Floyd Policing Act, it's a wrap for Joe Biden. Are you one of those kind of people? I'm very curious. Again, you tell me at 513-873-7134. While you wait on that, I've been reading that some of the Bengal greats have gotten together. They're making a music video. And I guess it'll be like the Icky Shuffle Part 2, or it'll be like trap music or something. Like, I don't know. We'll find out together. That's the kind of thing that cities do when I guess they're having success of this nature on a football field, but we can get into it. Good morning to you. Lynn writes, good morning, great people. Hey, good to see you, Lynn. Good morning. Maurice is in the house. He writes, good morning, Brother Ivy. God bless. Thank you so much. Gail Foster writes, good morning, Nate. Good morning to you. Good to see everybody. Regina writes, good morning. Good morning, Regina. Good to see you. Nat writes, Anthony writes, like and share, fam. That means everything. Those shares mean everything. I'm trying to hit at least 60, 75 shares. We'll say at least 75 shares with each and every show. Please help me do so. Maurice writes, did y'all hear about the CBD recruit and his mother? All of these different variants. How do they know what to name these variants? I don't know. Maybe it's in the almanac or something like that. I'm not sure. Lynn writes, good morning. I think I read that. Daryl writes, good morning, Nate and the Choppers. Good morning to you. I got an interesting story that is tragic because a teenager lost their life, and the family is saying that there has allegations of abuse, if not just straight up racism. I'll give you the details, man, and it underscores something I've been saying for a while. Glenn's in the house. Good to see you, Glenn. Morning, Nate and the Choppers. I need a Black Supreme. Hashtag Black Girl Magic. Okay. Kelly writes, good morning. Eloise is in the house. We leveling up. What's up, Eloise? She writes, good morning. Happy Thursday. Good to see you. Let me see. Yeah, it's chilly up in Indianapolis. Who Day? Okay, Who Day? Nothing wrong with that. I read in local media that what city is it? They look down when people say Who Day, they think it's stupid, is what I read in the media. I'm like, why? What the hell is this? Who cares what some other city thinks, man? They don't have a team in the AFC Championship right now. So there, scoreboard. I don't want to hear anything, man. Let it be what it's gonna be. Let it be what it's going to be. Good morning to you. It is what it is. It's not going to change the murder rate. It's not going to affect equity per se. But Cincinnatians will get hopefully a good distraction. Jada writes, it is brick here in New York. Good morning to everyone. Okay. Mike is in the house. Good morning, choppers. Bundle up. It's cold. Okay. Gotta have that remote start, you know what I'm saying? Click, click from outside, from the inside the house. You walk into the car, you gotta do is turn your heat on, boom. Luxury. Can you say luxury? LaMonica. Good morning, LaMonica. Like that name. Good morning to you. Jada writes, this is a lifetime job, so she better be exceptional. Well, that's the other part about it. We just don't want no regular degular, man. We ain't just trying to get some token in there. Yes, I mean, does a racial representation matter? It matters for a whole lot of reasons that I feel like I don't really need to go into. So anybody who says that it don't matter, I can't believe anybody feels that way. Let me know if you do, then I'll break it down to the very last compound for you. So yeah, it matters. But I think what matters overwhelmingly is their ideology, like the way they view, the issues. For me, I'm looking for a progressive, somebody with that gangster lean to the left. That's my left, right? That's what I'm looking for. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking for somebody that's going to preserve, the rights of the individual over the tyranny of the government. I'm looking for somebody that, is going to support a woman's rights to choose. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking for that. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for somebody that did not agree with the Citizens United decision. That's what I'm looking for. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking for somebody that understands that qualified immunity is a problem. These are just a few of the characteristics that I'm looking for. That's just me personally, as I'm spitballing here off the top of the dome. But what about you? Brenda writes, good morning. So typically what we see is that when a Republican gets a chance to put a Supreme Court nominee in place, they go gangster to the right. When a Democrat does, they got to get somebody that's middle of the road. They're a centrist. We need balance to the force. You got these radical conservative types like Thomas and others. So we got to balance that out with some people who are equally, as if you want to put it, radical to the left. That's just me. Lynn writes, and good morning, Lynn. It would be very important to elect a liberal black woman to the court. Correct, Amundo, a liberal black woman. Brenda writes, good morning from Fairfield. Jared writes, affirmative action has had a good chance of being overturned by the court this term. Yeah, I read that. It's a couple of cases that have been strategically placed to attack affirmative action. That's because the world is fair for everybody, right? Jada writes, and she better be truly black inside and out, because too many black folks ain't really for us these days. It's like you described Clarence Thomas. Sandra Jones is in the house. Good morning, Sandra. She writes, good morning. Good to see you. And Anthony writes, regardless of the way it should, SCOTUS appointees rule from their perspective of things. We need somebody who can rule from our perspective. Brandon writes, good morning, choppers. Maurice writes, if she upholds the law and upholds it for real when it comes to us, more power to her. Lynn writes, I don't think that the Biden administration has been a failure. Under the circumstances, he has done well. There's some things that I think that he could do differently or could have been doing differently, but I agree with you. I think the media, some of the media, especially the media that's sympathetic to like Donald Trump and the conservatives, they're very good at setting their own narrative and setting their own story for their audience. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, they'll tell you what to think, right? and then give you all the examples that you need to support the nonsense that they put into your heads. So I agree with you. Under the circumstances, that's a really, really important phrase. Under the circumstances. Sean writes, "Good morning, King Nate and the Mighty Choppers. Good morning to you." Glenn writes, "Say it again for the people in the back." Right. Somebody might have missed that. Jenny writes, "Good morning, Nate and the Choppers. Happy Thursday." It is Thursday. This week is going too fast. Black Russia writes, "Good morning. More tokenism from Biden coming. Court still 6-3 conservatives with the pick." So it's tokenism? I think if you're taking the most cynical view of it, that's tokenism. But how could it be tokenism when there've never been a black female on the Supreme Court? How's that tokenism? That's not tokenism. That's history, man. Nah, bruh. That's not tokenism. I gotta check you on that one. Nah, that's not tokenism. How you gotta explain that, Black Russia. How is it tokenism and there's never been a black female on the Supreme Court before? That's not tokenism, brother. That's called history. That's called history. No. Regardless of what the makeup of the court's gonna be. It's called history. It's called very much so history. And I hope that it's a liberal, a gangster liberal, if it was me, progressive, black female. That's what I hope. We need some black girl magic. Some of the Bengals were made honorary Tigers at this school. I heard about that student. Is that right? Some of the Bengals. What school is that? Brandy writes, "Good morning, y'all. Good morning." Or good morning, all. Good morning to you. Biden has been a total disaster? Okay. So there were a few big legislative things that was on Biden's table. One of them was the COVID relief. Got that passed. The other one was the infrastructure bill, which Obama tried to do. They've been trying to get an infrastructure bill passed since Obama was in the office, going way back to 2008. Barack Obama came to Ohio. He came and did a speech with the Brent Spence Bridge in the background, talking about the need for more spending on infrastructure. Biden was able to get that, and he also got Republicans to buy into it. And you're saying that it's been a total disaster during a pandemic? Because like I said, we are living in the most unique times of our lifetimes. Don't let anybody, like some of you folks that might be working, like, let's say your job is impacted by COVID in some way, shape, or form, right? And when I say impacted, meaning like the work that you do is somehow connected to the CARES Act, or you work in one of these governmental or non-governmental, the nonprofits, something like that, and you're working directly with that public that's affected by COVID directly. You're doing work that nobody else has done in your lifetime. Like local governments, these nonprofits, the world, we are dealing with something that's once in a lifetime. We've never dealt with a pandemic before. We've never felt this way before. And so that's the backdrop of the Biden administration. And you're saying total disaster? I think your analysis, you need deeper analysis than that, brother. I'm sorry. I don't get it. Explain that. He writes, "Another disaster, City Hall. Jason Williams laid them out last night in his column." Did he? I read that column. I didn't think he laid them out. I read the column. I know what you're talking about. I mean, to me, Jason Williams is just showing how biased he is. Oh, the honeymoon is over. Like, you don't get to decide when the honeymoon is over. These people have been in office, what? They just got sworn in early this month. They've only been in office for like 3 weeks. And Jason Williams, who writes an opinion column for the Cincinnati Enquirer, is saying that the honeymoon is over. Well, he can say what he wants to say, but it doesn't mean it's true. It's far too early to tell about this city council. They haven't been in office a month yet. Jason Williams needs to give that same type of latitude to city council as he gave to Donald Trump. He wasn't saying the honeymoon is over after 3 weeks when Trump was in office. And the first 3 weeks of the Trump administration was a freaking circus. Day one, this guy's talking about the size of his inauguration crowd, telling lies. So no, it's way too early to put a grade on city council. I'll say it again. They haven't even been in office a month. They just got there. So resist the temptation to be alarmed, Graxton, because Jason Williams is putting that battery in your back. He gonna have you all, and you're gonna be popping pills. You all anxious, full of anxiety. Simmer down. It's okay. Let's wait at least 6 months and to see how everything shakes out. Oh my gosh. TNT writes, good morning. Good to see you, TNT. Jocelyn Jason. Good morning, Jocelyn. She writes, most people in general, not just black people, do not realize how powerful the Supreme Court is. They make the decisions, and Republicans have made their plans accordingly. Most people have no clue how the Constitution / our government works. I'm with you 100% on that. And again, we don't put in the other side, like the evangelical Christians. Oh man, they're all about the Supreme Court. They're all about it. Some of them anyway. They all about it. They talk about it in the service. Oh, Jesus, please bring us a president that will protect the babies, right? That's how it goes. Everybody else is lacking way, way behind. So I'm with you on that. Good morning to you. Glenn writes, listen closely, folks. The Republicans will send out their gullible black male conservatives with racist coded talking points to do their bidding. Get out there and talk to the coloreds like Smitherman. He's funny for that. Gladys writes, good morning, Nathan Choppers. Beautiful Thursday. It is a beautiful Thursday. CPD cadet in hospital after a medical emergency during training, and no council members or the mayor is asking any questions. How do you know what questions they're asking? Boy, you like 0 for 3 this morning. Boy, oh boy. You 0 for 3. You was 0 for 3 so far, bro. You are not starting out good today, Black Russia, aka that's Graxton. How do you know if the council members or the mayor are asking any questions? You don't know that, huh? Sister Iris is in the house. She writes, good morning, great people. Grand Risings, Nathan and Choppers. Good morning, family. Everybody come on in. Come on in. Please like and share. Got plenty of room for you. You can sit here or there or there or there. Good morning. All the ladies under consideration are highly qualified. Please don't discount black women saying regular. All the women will track progressive, just varying degrees of how the law applies to Constitution. Okay. I'm with you on that. Anthony writes, give me a sister to get in there and make waves, point out the hypocrisy, even if it be behind closed doors. I'm just saying, for me, it's just fairness. You know, I think the Supreme Court should be a reflection of America, period. You know, it's just about fairness. It's about making sure that the Supreme Court looks like America. That's real simple. That's just off the top. Now, my personal preference is somebody that leans to the left. That's me personally, but you know, you can have your own opinion. Hey, thank you for the shares. I appreciate it, man. Look at me out here getting shares this morning. The Smitherman and the alt middle are the Reynolds of the Republican Party. That's hilarious. She said Reynolds is still on night duty. Yeah. Lynn writes, it's not Biden, it's the Senate. Go vote in the midterm. Oh my God. Lynn is just, it seems so simple, but why is that so hard? She put it in 3 sentences. Why is what Lynn said so succinctly, so to the point, and so easily? Why is that so hard for some people to get? She's right. Maurice writes, they need to have a sister like the CBD captain yesterday. She is strong. CPD. Speaking about Captain Danita Pettis. Yeah, I thought it was an interesting conversation. I'm always fascinated just to hear the inner workings of how the police department works and who does what. I thought it was a very interesting conversation. So props to her. And she even said, look, you know, hey, you know, I'm not above saying I was wrong. Like, we've been having fun with the whole Reynolds thing. But she said that in hindsight, with 2020, she would do things differently. She said, I've matured. I didn't handle that right. I'm like, okay, I can respect that. Because everybody makes mistakes. We all get in our feelings. We all do stuff in the moment. But it takes a big man, a big person, a very mature individual to admit when they're wrong and just put it out there. You can process. See, some people try to, well, I did what I did. I said what I said, right? And that's looked upon as strength. But, for me, when you wrong, you wrong. You admit it, move away. I don't have no problem with that at all. Brent writes, so I'm tuning in a little late, but let me guess, the soft middle's against a black woman being Supreme Court justice. Yeah. Black Russia is talking about tokenism? Yeah, he is. John writes, good morning. Hey, good morning. Good to you, John. Jerome writes, good morning. Nathan and the Choppers, broadcasting live from beautiful Cincinnati, Ohio, city of my birth. And Cincinnati's on the come up. I ended yesterday's show, and I'll begin today's show the same way. Cincinnati is on the come up. Can you feel it? 15 years from now, boom. People are going to look at this city a little bit differently. Glenn writes, any person who says black female support court justice tokenism probably wears a Schmedium t-shirt in support of Jim Neal and David Mann. Is that right? You might be a 3 for 3 on that one. I don't know about the Schmedium, but that's funny. John writes, withdrawal from Afghanistan was and still is a total disaster. Yes, it is, John, and it's always going to be that way because, much like with birth control, the pullout method in terms of international foreign policy doesn't work. It's not 100%. As I said before, I have 2 children using the pullout method right now. I thought I was going to evacuate the premises with no long-term consequences. Didn't work out that way. It's the same thing with U.S. foreign policy. There are some situations you should never get into. And once you get in there, you got to deal with the consequences. That's what happened with Afghanistan in a nutshell. It had nothing to do with 9/11 whatsoever. We was dead wrong to go in Afghanistan. And we've been paying a terrible price because of it. And most Americans got nothing out of going into Afghanistan whatsoever. Nobody, I didn't get a check. I didn't get an Afghanistan. I missed that one. Because you talking about reparations. I want some of that imperialism money. That's very imperialistic what we did in Afghanistan. Somebody bombed us, so we're just going to drop bombs anywhere, right? Yeah, we heard he was in Afghanistan in a cave. Mm-hmm. So let me get this straight. Some old dude named Osama in a cave orchestrated all of that. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll go with it, I guess. DeAndre writes, how important is it for the Black Female SCOTUS pick to be FBA, which stands for Foundational Black American? How important is that? The problem with that is, you can be a Clarence Thomas type and be FBA. FBA is more about your lineage and not really about your ideology. So I would take somebody who's not FBA, but's got a certain mentality and ideology over being FBA, and they on some Clarence Thomas type stuff. Does that make any sense, DeAndre? But I understand where you're coming from, but that's how I look at your question there. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's important, but what's more important is what's between their ears. Like, what do they think? How do they process the law? How do they look at these big cases? How do they look at individual rights versus, the corporations, individual rights versus, the tyranny of the government, things like that. Are they going to protect a woman's rights to choose? What's their view on Citizens United? That's what I care about more than if they're FBA or not. That's just me, off the top of the dome. Cass is in the house. I'm mad at Cass. Because she out here rooting for the damn Chiefs. Yeah, y'all. I'm putting you out there, Cass. Let everybody know. She on Twitter talking about, I think the Chiefs are going to win. Huh? What? What? Get her. She can hold her own, though, so be wary. Kevin writes, if you say Biden was an absolute failure, you either cannot reason between good and bad jobs in government, or you're just hating from a party perspective, which is sophomoric at best. I think it's too early on Biden, too. A year? I just feel like we need a little bit more time. I think we need a little bit more time under the circumstance. Like, again, we are living in amazing times. Give yourself credit. We are surviving a pandemic. Give yourself credit. This is not easy. This ain't easy on nobody. Everybody is under a lot of pressure. All of us are under pressure. Okay, we need to normalize, the situation that we is, and realize that this is a unique scenario. Whether you've had COVID or not, you've been touched by COVID. Whether you know somebody who's had COVID or not, you are touched by COVID because you wake up every day, you turn on the news, and you're inundated with all this COVID stuff. You're concerned about your health like every other human being is, wondering whether every time you get a sniffle or a cough or a scratchy throat or your body aches or your joints ache, must be COVID, could be COVID. I mean, that's wearing on us, man. That's wearing on us. And yet people are still going to work every day, still taking care of your business every day, right? Give yourself some damn credit. Maurice writes, the Florida Police Union was on that sergeant's side. That choked the female officer. Really? You can choke a female officer? Yo, check, if you don't know, there's a video that surfaced about, it was a male officer that was going a little bit too hard at a suspect. I believe, as the story goes, he was about to pepper spray, or it appeared that he was about to pepper spray a suspect. A female officer was on the scene and thought he was going too far. So she came up from behind him and kind of pulled him back using his belt, his utility belt. He grabbed her by the neck. I'm like, what the hell? That is crazy. You can do this now? Nat writes, Jason Williams calls himself a journalist. He is a journalist. I like Jason Williams. He gives us something to talk about. He's got a different perspective. I don't agree with his viewpoint on most things, but, based in Cincinnati, he's got a different perspective. He makes news, gives us something to read, gives us something to talk about. I don't have a problem with it. I think he's wrong in terms of the honeymoon is over, because that's the shortest honeymoon ever. Damn. 3 weeks is all you get in a honeymoon period in a 2-year term. Okay. Anthony writes, Nate, why are you entertaining the foolishness? I'm just trying to, respond to the questions as they come up with a little bit of seriousness. That's it. I mean, I feel like the brother's serious about what he's saying. So I wanted to give him a serious reaction. Glenn writes, I read the column, and like I said before, Jason Williams is Peter Bronson 2.0. There's a reason he has a show on the Very Fine People radio station, Closet MAGA. He does. I've heard him on there before. And he's found his audience. Cool for him. I'm less concerned about what they do on the Very Fine People radio station and more concerned about what we do in terms of building independent media. You know what I'm saying? Because investing in what we're doing is what's going to move the needle, right? It's not going to move the needle to criticize what somebody else is doing. So, I got no problem with it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, hey, I have a different viewpoint, but there's people that have the opposite viewpoint. Great. They should have their media outlets that speak to their truth and their viewpoint like everybody else. I don't have to watch it. And maybe sometimes I feel like it. I like a little diversity of opinion. Monica writes, good morning. Good morning to you, Monica. Good morning to you. Monica writes, most people underestimate the power of judges and skip that area during voting. Brent says something about him being a chaos agent. Nah. He's the resident Black Russia, and, he's an operative, or he was an operative. I don't know if he is or not. I'm not sure. Somebody said that's from another show. Leave that on another show. But I understand, if that's what's in your heart. Glenn writes, white evangelical Christians love the Supreme Court so much they were willing to support a heathen like Donald Trump with his 5 kids by 3 different baby mamas while grabbing them by the pee. Jesus who? God what? If anyone wants a free haircut and breakfast for Customer Appreciation Day at the barber on La Centerville and Ridge, pull up. Okay. Nakia writes, right now, none of us are perfect. Let me see. Okay. Jerica writes, hola, beautiful black people, and the others too. Letty's in the house. She writes, Grand Risings, Nate and Choppers. Good morning to you. Nakia writes, good morning, everyone. Black women definitely are magic. Are black men magic as well? Just wondering. Right. Can we get magic? Damn. Cam's in the house. He writes, check 1, 2. What up, Cam? TNT writes, was she really wrong for pointing out that she and Reynolds are always first through the door? Oh, boy. I don't know, man. Made for interesting moments. Let me see. Let me see. She was right. She realized that being part of management should have been more professional in that role. No problem with it. We all expect our management to be professional. Exactly. Build Back Better, disaster, Voting Rights Act, disaster, but Biden is success. Again, I think you trolling, bro. Disaster. I mean, it's disastrous in the fact that it's not going to get passed. You know what I'm saying? And the impact it's going to have on the public. But anybody that blames Biden for the fact that Build Back Better and the Voting Rights Act are not going to get passed to the U.S. Senate, we really should. They need to be either they need to be schooled on how it really works in Congress, right? I think there's a lack of education there. There's like a gap in their knowledge base because nobody who knows how things work is blaming Biden, unless you're trolling. You must be trolling. Maurice writes, America needs to stop trying to be the world police. I'm not even sure that was even about being the world police, but it is what it is. Let's see. Let me see. He says Biden campaigned on it to get black votes, knowing the shift of power wasn't going to happen on politics. Again, man, I just feel like you trolling Biden, and it doesn't really make a lot of sense. Is that fair to put it that way? So let me get this straight. So I'm running for president. And as any politician does, they have a plan and goals that they would like to accomplish if they are elected to the position. And you're telling me that I'm supposed to scale that back because I don't know if the opposition party is going to get on board or not? That's just not how politics works, man. Very naive. Naive flow right there. It's just not how it works. I'm sorry. Let me see. It says rooting for the Chiefs. Yeah, rooting for them damn Chiefs. Wrong with that. Pulling out of Afghanistan would be an ish show regardless of who the president was. Correct, Amundo. It wouldn't matter at this point. It's going to be a problem no matter what. Cleopatra Jones writes, Grand Risings. Good morning to you. Good morning. Steeler fans are now Bengal fans for the first time in a long time because they don't. Who else are you going to get behind? But Charles writes, a lot of Steelers haters are pulling for KC to win. Every week we've had to hear how so-and-so we're going to beat the Bengals, only for them to be wrong. It's okay. I got one of my guy, he used to be my best friend. He's a big-time Steeler fan. We don't really talk a lot no more. But I'm sure wherever he is, he's hating on the Bengals. Because all that kind of stuff really means something to him. To me, it means nothing. Crystal Willwright writes, good morning. Good morning to you. Cass writes, I said what I said, though. LOL, it's against my religion to root for the Bengals. See, there you go. There you go. Ronald Lackey's in the house. He writes, good morning, Choppers. Good morning to you, Ronald. Kush writes, good morning. Good morning, family. Up, Adam, up and Adam. Absolutely. I'm with you on that. Let me see. Good morning to you. Sean writes, now Trump did a horrible job managing the pandemic, causing many to die. Biden, on the other hand, is really taking charge to ensure the health and safety of Americans. Everybody has an opinion. Edward writes, good morning, Nathan fans. Good morning to you. Brent writes, is Black Russia being paid by the comment today? I don't know. Cruther writes, oh, hell, no Steelers all day. Get a ring, Bean Girls. Oh, boy, there you go. Did you write Ben Girls? You are so wrong for that. Cam writes, Build Back Better should start with the 40 acres and a mule we as a people were promised after a chattel slavery. You says Build Back Better should have. I mean, Jesus Christ. Oh my God. I know Cam is sensitive. He's sensitive to the flow, so I gotta make sure I approach this the right way because I don't want the brother to turn us off. So Cam, brother, the point in fact is that if we're having yet another conversation about reparations, that should have happened we talking about should have. Politics is not the world of should have, but if we talking about should have, that should have happened way before Build Back Better. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like for the people that's really about that reparations conversation, it starts with each and every vote you take. It starts with your congressional votes. It starts with your governor. It starts with each and every vote you take. And I just feel like that's unfair on some levels and unrealistic to put reparations on Build Back Better. Now, if we having a conversation about shoulda, woulda, and coulda, okay. But if we're being pragmatic about it, I'm gonna go so far to say if we being intelligent about it and not emotional, because that's a very emotional response right there, Cam. But I think we have to have a more intelligent approach, to that issue. That's just how I look at it. I had to pull out my sensitive gloves for Cam. I'm messing with you a little bit, bro, because that's just my nature. That's just me. Omar writes, so Biden could take credit if it passes, but if it fails, he is blameless. Oh, okay, shaking my head. Pretty much, yeah. Omar, you think you saying something? Yeah, that's exactly what I just said. Yeah, absolutely. Because if so, you're talking about the Build Back Better. So let's walk through this. So what you just said there, Omar, you're trying to be sarcastic, but you're right. You're right about that. Okay. So Biden and the Democrats say, hey, we want to come up with a plan called Build Back Better. They work on it. It passes with an overwhelming majority of Democrats in the U.S. House of Representatives, right? It goes to the U.S. Senate. In the U.S. Senate, it enjoys overwhelming support by Democrats and no Republicans. So it can't get enough Republican support to get on Joe Biden's desk where he's already said he's going to sign it. So yeah, Omar, you're right. Exactly. How you going to blame him and it never even got on his desk so he could sign it? Like I said, we got to get out that emotional bag and look at this more intelligently. Okay? So yeah, you're right. That's exactly right. It's not Biden's fault that that Christian Cinema and Joe Manchin didn't want to support it. You read the news, he sat down and tried to work with him. So how you gonna blame him? It makes no sense. And again, I don't want to be in a position where I come across where I got to defend Joe Biden. That's not my job. But if we're gonna look at this intelligently, you're right, Omar. Absolutely 100%. So you're trying to be sarcastic and you slipped up and made a point. Exactly. They came in with the idea, got overwhelming support from one side of the aisle, right? It goes to U.S. Senate. It gets stopped because it's a numbers game, even though the president has said that I'll sign it if it gets to my desk. Never got to his desk. Now, had it gotten to his desk and Joe Biden decided, yes, you know what? I don't want to sign this, then you can blame him. Come on now. Oh, my God. The last days of common sense. Oh, my gosh. The alt middle need to get back together, man. Y'all have lost y'all minds. When y'all lost y'all unity, y'all lost y'all minds. I'm messing with you, Flo Manny. Pat Rice, good morning. I mean it, but I'm messing with you, though. Akeem Rice, very sensitive. Very sensitive. Oh, my God. He said it, not me. Kathy Rice, good morning, all. D Matthews is in the house. Good morning, D Matthews. She writes greetings. Let me see. I'll let y'all have that conversation. He said, nah, that's Ralph, not me. I need a man. No, you need a man. I don't even know the damn words of it. You need a man with sensitivity. A man like me. Cam says that's not him, huh? Okay. All right, brother. You say so. I know you got mad at me over Ice Cube. I ain't gonna never let you lay that down. Cam got mad at me over Ice Cube. I mean, he got big mad. Called me out. Fuck your show. Your little show. Da-da-da-da-da. He got all in his feelings because of what I can't remember what I said about Ice Cube. It was the truth, whatever it was, but it was hilarious. It was a lot of fun, though. You calling people clowns now? See, there you go. Carmar writes, good morning, Nathan and the Choppers. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Cam's in the house. He writes, what's wrong with land and instruments to work it distributed by the government? ? We as a people built this country as it currently stands. So what's wrong with fulfilling a promise to build the country back better? The principles of this country constitution is outdated as well, but the government still stands on it. Nothing wrong with that. Everybody, if you're talking about reparations, are we talking about? Okay. Everybody agrees about reparations. We already know the debt is due. It's old. We got that. But how useful is it? How pragmatic is it to judge every decision that's made by the administration, no matter what administration is, by whether it has something to do with reparations? I just don't know how pragmatic that is, how useful that is. I don't know. I don't think it's useful at all. Maybe it is. I'm just missing it, but I don't see it as I see it right now. TNT writes, because Republicans are playing games. This is not democracy. It's obstructionism for the sake of political power. She writes, okay. Tracy writes, I just want my student loans forgiven. Just get straight to the point, right? I know that's right. Ray writes, good risings, all. Good morning to you, Ray. Sharp writes, good morning, Nathan Choppers. I've been talking about the Supreme Court for over 20 years. I saw the writing on the wall. Fox writes, rise and shine, young stars. And to all my people on the TuneIn network, I appreciate you as well. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. What Omar and the alt middle making a fool out of themselves, you don't say. I don't know. They're going to make a fool out of themselves. I wouldn't take it that far. But your flow is your flow. Let me flow into a break. And as we go, I want to remind you that today's show is brought to you in part by our friends over at Renew Community Church. They do a Sunday morning masterclass at 11:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, just so you know, because Facebook is for everybody, no matter what the time zone. You can tap in on Facebook at facebook.com/Cincy Renew, CINCI Renew. And on YouTube, you can check them out at Renew Community Church live stream. Stop opposing people, places, and things. Learn how to feel good, have fun, be happy, and enjoy life. And with all of the pressure that people are under right now, especially you got school-age kids. If you got school-age children, your pressure is gone way, your stress goes way up, your anxiety goes way up. because the schools are in and out. You don't know if your kids are going to come home with the new variant. You don't know if they're going to get sick. And then on a weekly basis, you're receiving these close contact messages that your child has been exposed to COVID, but don't worry, it's non-close contact. And then sometimes it is close contact. And it's like, well, what do we do? Well, we don't do anything. We're just telling you. And I'm like, okay. Um, Zoom, people are sick of Zoom meetings. Like the whole world has changed. But we will get through it together, family. Let me take a quick break and we'll come right back. Just about 3 minutes. Don't go anywhere. It's the Nathan Ivey Show, live, local, and vocal.
Baby, I see you hanging with your friends, chilling day and night for days on end. Now you can't come see me tonight. Say you ain't got the time. I'm the last one you prioritize. Peeping your IG pictures on my phone. I won't spend another night at home. Okay, I'ma just be on my way. You'll see I'm not the one you take for granted, babe. I know that life can be busy, love, but you make time for the ones you love. It's only right, it's what I deserve. Love, tell me what you done for me, done for me, done for me, done for me lately. Did your mind go on vacation, leaving your affection for me at home? Tell me what you done for me, done for me, done for me lately. Where's your heart and your attention? Where's the kind of love that I used to know? Baby, so can you take me on a date? It's simple. Things you do to make me stay. Now it's like you don't even try. I used to wonder why, but now I'm left with no more tears to cry. I know that life can be busy, love, but you make time for the ones you love. It's only right, it's what I deserve. Love, tell me what you done for me, done for me, done for me, done for me lately. Did your mind go on vacation, leaving your affection for me at home? Tell me what you done for me, done for me, done for me lately. Where's your heart and your attention? Where's the kind of love that I used to know? If you want me the way I want you, but you're all into all that you do, it's only right, it's what I deserve. Love, tell me what you done for me, done for me, done for me lately. Did your mind go on vacation, leaving your affection for me at home? Tell me what you done.
All right, quick break, everybody. I'm still here. Good morning to you. Come on back. Welcome to you. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Let's get back into it. Man, so yesterday we were talking about the fact that the chief of police did a presentation before city council. And a part of that presentation, they had a little graphic up there in which the Cincinnati Police Department believes that the vast majority of the violence is because of the lack of conflict resolution, like people having like little beefs, little issues, and it turns violent, which rings very true to me because we're living in unprecedented times. It's not like it used to be. This is a whole new America. And in the new America, things can just explode in an instant. And most people are caught up with themselves. We've never been so narcissistic as we are right now. And perhaps we've never been as violent as we are right now. And then after yesterday's show, I came across this video, man. It was the saddest thing ever. Had the security guard. He was at something called I think it's called Fitness Connection. And he was escorting like three brothers out of the basketball court because I mean, like I said, when you get a bunch of men together, men gonna do men. You're gonna have altercations and things like that, and people gonna fight. And I get it. I've seen it before. I've done it before. I get it. But there's levels to it. So in the video, you see the security guard. He was a bigger guy. He didn't seem like he was in shape. He had some weight on him. He was escorting these guys out of the basketball court, and they was talking stuff. He gets to the door. Maybe you've seen it. He gets to the door, and then it got physical. And I don't know if because he like tried to push them or they tried to push him. Things happened really quickly on the video. Looks like it was cell phone footage, and they ended up beating him unconscious. So like he walks him to the door. They're jawing back and forth. It gets physical. The three of them just like they swarm on him. He goes down quick. They're stomping him. You can kind of see that for a little while. And then at some point they leave and he's just laying face down on the Fitness Connection floor. They took him to the hospital. He later died. Now authorities are looking for these individuals, but it just reminded me of what we was talking about yesterday about conflict resolution. Like, it's levels to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen cats on the court just acting wild for no reason, just attitude. Sometimes people bring that energy to the situation they in. But I'm like, yo, bro, it's 3-on-1. So it took three of y'all, and it was just one of him. But it goes back to that, I wish an N-word would type stuff. You know what I'm saying? And that's where people who are against the N-word, they get involved because they're like, look, it's dehumanizing. Like when you're dealing with an N-word, Nigger, it's far easier to commit acts of violence than if you're dealing with a man, right? Is that what we're dealing with here? Or is it just a lack of self-worth? Like when you love yourself and you see a future for yourself and you feel like you got something to live for, you're less likely to go that far and then perhaps put your liberty in risk because you got something to live for. Or ish happens. I don't know. But I'm wondering if anybody get a chance to watch that video, man. Very, very sad. I saw the video. His family member talked with the media. They were very upset. They were like, things happen so quickly. He was a gentle giant. Why did things have to go that way? Things like that. Over an altercation over a basketball. And I'll tell you what's gonna happen. What happened? Somebody got fouled, and the other person didn't like it. Somebody threw a little elbow or somebody got fouled too hard. And now it's not even about the game. It's about the fact that you disrespected me. And the security guard came in and was probably like, look, y'all jaw jacking a little bit too much. We don't want to do that here. I need you guys to leave. I paid my money. I want my money back. You know how this goes. I've seen it before. You've seen it before, man. But just a very sad situation right there. Jericho writes, do you play independent artists on your show? Yes, I do, as long as I've got the copyright clearance. Yes, I do. Absolutely. Glenn writes, breaking news, GDP grew to 6.9% rate, higher than predicted. More good news. Let's see, Jeffrey writes, Nate be having some good video content. Thank you so much. Cam writes, by the way, Nate, it was never about Cube. It was about the thought process you were siding with based on the topic. Yeah, I got angry, so what? If I felt no type of way, then I would be worried. I value conversation with the essence of thought. I'm just joking with you, Cam, man. You know I value you, bro. I told you that then. And I don't remember what it was about. I thought we were talking about Ice Cube, and I can't remember. I was mad at Ice Cube. I can't remember what the flow was. I really don't remember, but I know it was about Ice Cube and he was working with Trump. It was right before the election, and I just had a different point of view than you did. And I remember you got real mad at me and you cussed me out and all this kind of stuff, like cussed me out. And I was like, damn, yo, you said something, and I just don't remember all of it, but I do remember that. But again, this comes with the territory, man. I don't, none of that bothers me, bro. You my brother no matter what. I ain't never falling out over no talk show. I ain't never gonna fall out like that with you over no talk. You know what I'm saying? We can go hard in the paint, and I got an opinion, you got an opinion, we jaw back and forth, but when the show ends, the conversation ends, I leave it right there. So I just be joking with you, Cam. I'm glad to see you, bro. What you consume becomes a part of you. Absolutely. Janice writes, egos are so fragile. Some are, some more than others. Like everybody got an ego. I got a healthy ego. That's what makes me good. That's what helps make me the man that I am. Without my ego, what would I be? You know what I'm saying? A man has to have that edge. You need that edge. But you also got to know how to check yourself as well. Let me see. Glenn Rice, Ice Cube still hasn't heard from Katrina Pearson after she slid into his DMs. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that. I'm not going to get involved in that. We'll have to wait and see. I told you how I feel about it. I hope all those good people, Ice Cube. What happened to P. Diddy? Remember Diddy? See, Diddy comes up with these great ideas and then abandons them. He came up with vote or die, then he abandoned it. It was a great slogan, vote or die. Who owns the copyright for that? It was a great slogan. He abandoned it. He came up with what was it? The Black Party. You see, Black Party. Let me look on. They had a whole website and everything. It's called the Black Party. Are they even still doing? It's called It's called Black Political Party. That's what it was called. And then it just went away. Hold on, let me look here, see, because I went to their website. They had a whole agenda. Remember, he sat down on Revolt, and he sat down with Charlemagne the God, and they talked about this, that, and the other, and what he was gonna do, and blah 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 blah. And I haven't heard shit about it. It's called Our Black Party. Our Black Party. Let me say, I'm gonna go to their Twitter page right now. Our Black Party. Started June 2020. And the last tweet they have is January 4th. Our Black Party prioritized the issues that matter most to Black people based on the actual needs of our community, people over party. Okay. Okay, so they've got a Twitter page up with 7,000 followers. ourblackparty.org. I'm on their website right now. And it looks like they've been endorsing people. So if you go to their endorsements page, they got a list of endorsements of people around the country. At least 6 people I see they endorsed. They endorsed Nina Turner as well, who's coming back, by the way. Remember the sister that beat her? She's going to primary her. She's going to try to primary her. So Nina Turner is back. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing with the Our Black Party. I don't know. Like, people come up with these things. It seems so great in the moment, and then it seems like it fizzles out. You don't hear anything else about them. Let me see. Leadership. Oh, okay. I'm looking at the leadership right here. They got some folks. National co-chair Candace Hollingsworth. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Let me see. Janice writes, happy Thursday. Good morning. Good morning to you. Dale writes, they not serious just about clicks. Too much work to be a real activist. Well, see, Diddy wasn't going to lead it anyway. He just sets it up and bankrolls it. And then you get out there some people that's the grassroots organizers. You give it to them, you let them run it. That's what I thought he was going to do. I never expected him to do it himself, but it is what it is. Good morning to you. Again, 513-873-7134. We had a couple people to try to call. Oh, okay. Oh, that's nice. Somebody just sent me a nice text saying great things about the show. I appreciate that. Thank you. It's a little show that could. We ain't going nowhere. We just get better every single day and bigger. What happened to T.I. getting reparations from Lloyd's of London? I don't know. Like I said, people put these things out there. It seems it's all the rage for about a day or two, and then it fizzles away. You never hear about it anymore. I can't tell you. But let me circle back around because I want to get your thoughts. I want to have a conversation about how important do you think it is. Like, Biden nominated the first Black woman to be the vice president, and by all real accounts, she seems to be doing a great job. Now, a lot of the mainstream headlines are that Kamala Harris, where is she? She's not doing this. She made a flub, a gaffe, things like that. But I came across an article a couple of months ago that I thought did a deep dive in some real journalism to tell us what she's actually been doing, and sis has been busy, so put it that way. Now he has a chance to put the first black woman on the Supreme Court. That's legacy right there. That's legacy building. Say what you want. That's the things that are in his control. And how much will it mean if he nominates the first black woman to be on the Supreme Court and then she actually gets confirmed? How important would that be to you, in your opinion? But let's go back to the phones. Good morning and welcome to the show. Welcome to the Nathan Ivey Show.
Good morning, Mr. Nathan Ivey and the good people of Cincinnati, as well as the good people around the world. It's sunny here in Florida. I don't know about Cincinnati, but I'm sorry. I had to throw that in.
No problem.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm doing great, John. Welcome.
To stick with your topic at hand, Biden's nomination pick for Supreme Court. Well, it's a lot to be talked about. Yes, kind of excited. I'm not too excited. And I'll tell you why. Remember, let's go back in time when Barack Obama tried to nominate a person to the Supreme Court. And what happened? Those rascally Republicans shot it down. They wouldn't let him get a pick in. They said, basically, the Republicans were saying, Negro, we gave you that stupid health care plan, which, we allowed you to have that, boy. But we're not giving a Supreme Court. We have to control that. Okay, it's John from Florida's words, but basically that's what the Republicans were saying. And he couldn't get nothing passed. So now here we go again. And yes, at watching CNN and several 8 women, African-American, all African-Americans, and there's background and profile seems like top of the notch. And one woman, I think she was just appointed to the federal Supreme Court, and her resume, I think from Yale or Howard, one of those schools. And she looks like the shoe-in to be given that spot. But hold on a second. Stop the press. Who's to say one of those picks will be picked? Biden might be just throwing it out there to throw people off. What happened, Nathan Ivey? And now my question to you. What may happen if he decides not to take one of those picks and decide to go with somebody like, hold your breath, people, Michelle Obama? What do you think about that?
I don't see it happening.
Well, stranger things can happen,
I mean,
Mr. Nathan Ivey.
why would Michelle Obama want to be on the Supreme Court for a lifetime? She got a lifestyle and she's living her best life right now. It seems like, I don't see that happening. I think it's going to be this, I think his name is Ketanji Brown Jackson. I think that's what the front runner is, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah, so she seems like the front runner. But once again, these things can be thrown to the side and decide to go with somebody else instead. Now, you say Michelle Obama, why would she want to? She's living a good lifestyle.
Yeah.
She probably went back to her old job. Now, remember, before Barack Obama threw his hat in the ring, she was working for one of the top law firms there in Chicago, Illinois. And they hated to see her go because they said she was running that firm pretty good, being a partner. And she does have the law firm background. So, stranger things can happen.
But she's Michelle Obama. See, she's got a new job. Her new job is former First Lady Michelle Obama. She just got a whole different thing going on. And I think it's an important place, right, in our society. Why would she want to leave that to now have to deal with the grind of being a Supreme Court justice? I don't think so. She might even run for office one day. I can see her running for office before a lifetime appointment to the Supreme Court. That's just me.
Now, let me just answer that question to you. The Supreme Court position is not a hard job. You sit there and deal with the other characters around it. I'm waiting for that handkerchief wearing Clarence to step the heck down and go away, that little rat. We'll deal with Clarence Thomas another day. But he's on his way out too at some point. So Biden's going to line up, as you indicated, a young person, somebody who's going to be there for a long time. All 8 of those women on CNN's posting and MSNBC are young. They fit the bill. But sometimes these things go the other way of what people want. He may have somebody hidden to the side. That may happen. Now, the other twist thing, once again, remember what Barack Obama went through? You think Biden's not going to go through the same thing no matter who the pick is? They may string it out so it doesn't happen. Republicans are dirty. They play dirty games, and the Democrats too. We'll deal with the Democrats another day. We already see that with these two handkerchief wearing Democrat senators that can't even pass anything. Oh, they're in bed with the Republicans. We'll deal with that another day. But these things can be twisted the other way, Nathan Ivey, and it cannot go the way people may want it to go. And yes, he'll get his pick if it is passed. I don't think it's going to happen because it's a pattern with the Republicans. They're going to string it out. They're going to give this person a hard time, and it may not happen. Now, the other twist side nobody's looking at, before he announced this, what was going on in the black community? They're not happy with him and Harris. To take the heat off of everything, he throws this out there. Say, calm down, Negroes. Look what
Yeah,
I'm going to do.
but
Look what I'm
John,
going to do.
but
I
John,
made that promise.
there's one flaw in but he promised this before when he was campaigning. So he had no idea what the poll numbers were going to be. He couldn't. I mean, this if he does this, this will be making good on a campaign promise. That's what people say they want from politicians. Do what you say you were going to do. What's wrong with that? Why are we trying to make that into something negative?
Because I'm not making it a negative, but you're looking at the pattern that the Republicans have been doing, and they will continue doing it.
Right.
He can nominate Mickey Mouse. To me, as far as I can see, it may not happen. The Republicans may string it out. And if this gets stringed out during the summer or towards midterm, it may not pass. If the Democrats lose another house in the Senate, it's not happening.
Well, I'm already
It's
reading, John. You're right about that. That's something to think about and consider. But I'm reading that the Democrats are going to try to fast track this. So hopefully they'll get this done as quickly as Justice Breyer steps down, and they'll make a quick move and put somebody in that place. You're right. The timing of it does matter. I agree with you.
Well, the test is going to be as you just indicated, if the Democrats streamline this and Biden stream it and try to push it through, get the hearings done, get it done right away, are those two stupid Democrat senators going to go along with the plan, or are they going to still play footsies with the Republicans like they've been doing since Biden came in? And how many Republicans on the Republican side can they get to vote this in? Now, so what I'm hearing is handkerchief wearing white cracker Lindsey Graham, that rat supposedly is in favor of one of those black judges that are running for that spot. So, but they can say one thing. You know how they change their tune when stupid Trump decides to come in. You better not pick her. You pick her, I'm going to take votes from you. Oh yes, master. Okay, I'm sorry. I was just doing what I was supposed to do, master. Shut up. You better vote the way I tell you to vote. Stranger things can happen, Mr. Nathan Ivey. I know I should have been an actor, but I decided to go with a different direction. But
right,
we'll
John.
see how it plays out. So I tried to send you an email of the video of John from Florida's latest project, Sankofa African American 3D Museum, which is launching next month. We'll talk about it. I'll see if I can send this video. I'm having a hard time. Google's making me wait. But I'll send you a first look. Do not get it out yet. I'll let you know when, but you'll get a first look before the media gets a first look.
Okay.
Have a nice day.
Thank you, John. You too, brother. Take it easy. That's John from Florida checking in. Tomorrow, have a nice day. I'm trying to, bro. Trying to. Good morning to you. What do you think about what John had to say? Did he say? Yeah, he did say it. He did. I'm like, what? Come on, John. Damn it, man. Just all out of order with his language, being all racist, all racy. We need term limits for Congress, perhaps. Mackie Mouse, Zarro said, Mackie Mouse. Is that what he said? Charles writes, John, there's a lot of stuff you want to talk about on another day, huh? Right. Joe Biden didn't throw this out there. Buyer retired. Time to go, John. Right. Why everything got to be a damn plot? Why is everything a plot? Everything is not a plot. But I understand where you're coming from, though. I understand why you feel that way. Good morning to you. 513-873-7134. If you'd like to share your thoughts this morning, I am here to receive it. I'm on Council Member Reggie Harris's Twitter page, and he announced today, this was yesterday, Council unanimously approved development of the vacant Macy's building into residential apartments. We are excited about this project for a number of reasons. Okay. All right. I'm going to reach out to Councilmember Reggie Harris and, just to develop that relationship so we can have him come on and talk about the work that they're doing and the work that's going through his council committee. So here we go again. I don't know. We will process it. Let me see. Brent writes, make John from Florida buy advertising time to talk about his book. I will do that. Oh, man. He said about $5,900, right? John sounds like Dan Carlin. Dan Carlin. Who's Dan? I don't know who Dan Carlin is. Has a great murder mystery voice. He does have a great voice. John does have a very interesting and distinctive voice. John sounds like he could get voice over work reading kids' Halloween novels. Is that why? Mary Weinberg's in the house. We got school board member Mary Weinberg. Good morning to you, Mary. I just got a notification that the decision that the school board is getting closer to making a decision about the new superintendent. You're going to whittle it down. Here's what she's saying. We'll put it here. CPS will announce their 3 finalists for the superintendent position today at 11:30 a.m., so in about 2 hours. Now, I won't be on the air then, but who knows? Maybe we can do a special broadcast or something like that. Very, very interesting. And, Mary, I want to catch up with you. I want to have that relationship with you where, you can come on, talk with the audience. Just tell us what's going on from your perspective and keep us updated. So I know you guys are going to do great work. So 3 finalists. You can't give us no insights, Mary. I mean, is the current superintendent, is she on the list? I know she's on the list. Y'all whittled it down to 3 people, huh? There was a lot of people on that list. So we shall see. She says, no problem. Great. I'm surprised John didn't say he wanted Elizabeth Warren on the court, right? John sounds like he drives a white van with no wind. Y'all wrong, man. Leave John alone. John, good people, man. A white van with no windows. That's serial killer type stuff, man. That's not John. John is good people. I'm telling you, meet John. And as John is exactly the same person in real life as he is on the phone. He is unique. We'll put it that way. He is very unique. That's all I can say. He's a very unique individual, and he's serious too. But let's get back. Let me put the image of the sister up here. Her name is Kentaji Brown Jackson. She got braids and everything, y'all. And looks like she's the front runner to replace Justice Stephen Breyer after him calling for his retirement at the end of this term. So could be. We shall see. Good morning and welcome to the show. Yo, good morning. Welcome.
Okay. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Yes.
Okay. If I was in a bad spot or not. To answer your question, Nate, I'm super excited about, and I think it's Ketanji Brown Jackson.
Yeah.
But I'm super excited about not only her possible nomination and Justice Breyer retiring, but this is good news after a year and a month of having bad news for the Democrats and the Biden administration. But what I learned last night, remember when we were having talks about Simone Sanders and she was leaving and everybody was like, why are they getting rid of this sister? And I don't know if this has anything to do with it. And I saw her last night with Rachel Maddow. Apparently, She's either going to have a show on MSNBC or it's going to be on MSNBC Peacock. So she's landed on her feet. But during the presidential debate, Democrat presidential debate, when Joe Biden announced that he wants to nominate a black woman for Supreme Court justice, Simone Sanders and a bunch of other people were telling Joe not to do that. They were saying, no, you can't go out there on the stage. It's not good optics, or, it might not play politically. And it was actually Jim Clyburn and the Congressional Black Caucus, because I guess they had some type of break or halftime during the debate. And they were like, Joe, you need to step up your game. You're losing this debate, blah, blah, blah. And Jim Clyburn was like, hey, from what I hear, and he mentioned that Jim Clyburn said, I got 3 daughters, and these are the things that they're talking about. And other black women in South Carolina were talking about. And he said, you need to go out here and tell, and say that you want to nominate a black Supreme Court justice. Apparently, this was a talk that he and Clyburn and Clyburn's wife, when she was still alive, they've had this discussion before. So this is like nothing new. And Joe wanted to be the one that nominate a sister to the Supreme Court for the first time ever. Because up until now, we've only had 2 black Supreme Court justices, Thurgood Marshall and, Clarence Coonship Commander Thanos Thomas. So I thought that was kind of, I didn't know the inside tea about that. But, this is something that Simone didn't want to happen, or thought that Joe shouldn't do. And Joe went out there and said, no, I'm going to tell them that this is what I plan to do if I become president and get a chance to pick a Supreme Court justice.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I wonder why she thought that. I mean, was it because she thought it would turn off certain votes, white voters?
I think so. Just like those ones that you criticized, that those squishy liberal types that would vote for Joe Dieters over Fanon Rucker. But again, I don't understand it. I actually think that, again, this is something that's going. It's good news for the party. It's good news for the administration. It's great news for these 5 other sisters. And there's a sister out in California that's on the California Supreme Court that she's only 41 years old. Ms. Jackson, I believe she's 51 years old, which,
right.
I'm in my 50s. I think that's young. But so he has a pick of the litter out there. And let me say this, because, Nate, when I talked about, the alt middle and the gullible black man, and, they send out their Smithman Reynolds types, they're having a hard time trying to figure out how they're going to attack this woman. Because that's going to happen. And I predict right now, either Republicans are going to do some old sly shit and say some old closet racist stuff like, African Americans vote at the same rate as Americans type stuff. And they're either going to, embarrass themselves, embarrass their party, or ignite black sisters all over this country when you say some sly stuff about these well-qualified black women. Because what's going to happen, Nate. Lindsey Graham or Kevin McCarthy or even Donald Trump, he's going to have something to say. Because I was on, Down the Dale last night, and they were trying to play, well, why is Joe Biden dividing America? And why did he decide to only take half of America's? Why does he have to be specific about a black woman? And then, of course, I went to The Guardian. I found a column where Donald Trump said that he wanted to nominate a woman, and that's when he were talking about Amy Coney Barrett. They were down in Raleigh, North Carolina, and he asked the crowd, do you want a woman or a man on the Supreme Court? And, they were like, a woman, and he was like, the crowd is spoken. So he was all on that stuff. So, of course, I threw that at him, and the guy just hammed and hawed, and he sounded like Drop and Black Rush and all them. They really didn't have anything to retort. But, so I threw that at him, and then I go into the Twitter Spaces last night. And I'm looking for the black conservative types. I'm like, like deer hunter. I'm out there looking for them. I go into one of their rooms, and they're talking about, the whole tokenism. And then one brother actually said, who does Jackson think she is anyway with her Bo Derek braids? I said, Negro, are you serious? He did. They said the Bo Derek braids. First of all, I said, well, that's not even the same hairstyle. And Bo Derek got that from black women. Not that black women got it from Bo Derek. So I had to deal with those fools out there. So, like I said in the chat, not only did they have a bad night, but they're going to have a bad day. And you can best believe that they're sending out their Smithmans out there, like, go out there and talk to the colors. This is the only thing that you can say that we can't say in quiet spaces. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So, but yeah, I just wanted to get that off. And let me also say this because, they try to throw the whole, well, what about Kamala Harris? Why can't she be a Supreme Court justice? Basically insinuating that Joe and the Democrats are trying to get rid of her so they can put somebody else in and she can be the Supreme Court justice. They've already thrown that out. That's one of the little right-wing conspiracies out there trying to throw shade on their nomination. There's an article in the Politico, I think it's on the right-hand side of the website, where they talk about the myths that have been debunked already. So that's not going to happen. I can be mistaken, and I'm sure somebody else out there knows that, but I don't remember a VP ever becoming a Supreme Court justice during their term, let alone their first term. Mm-hmm. Can you think of one?
A VP
again, it might have
Supreme
happened,
Court justice? No, nothing comes to mind.
Right. So, but I just wanted to throw that out there. Oh, and also, talking about the Clyburn-Biden conversation that they had, was Clyburn really pushed the getting a black female Supreme Court justice. And he told Joe Biden, he said, I'd rather have a black Supreme Court justice than a black vice president. He said, where's Al Gore right now? He was a vice president. I thought that was pretty striking. I'm like, You know what? He's right.
He is right.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd rather have somebody a lifetime appointment than, I'm sure I'm glad Kamala is there, but the point is, the Supreme Court justice is a lot more significant than the VP or any other, elected office out there, to tell you the truth. So I was all with it, but I just wanted to throw that out there for the choppers, give a little information, because John talks about, well, Biden threw that out there. No, John, Justice Breyer retired. And of course, that's the biggest news of the day. And apparently Breyer is going to go to the White House today, and him and Joe Biden are going to have like the, little Rose Garden press conference, and he'll be able to address this issue. So, again, I just wanted to throw that out there, man. I appreciate you taking my call. And like always, in the end, hope people getting what I'm spitting. Petty peace.
Take it easy. Appreciate them. Well, listen, that's my time this morning. I really appreciate you. I'll keep my eyes open, because that's a big decision when it comes to who's going to be the next superintendent. They got a huge responsibility and also a huge opportunity to lead the Cincinnati Public Schools into the future. And I don't know. I'm very curious to see who these three people are. And then once their names come out, I'll do my due diligence. I just got to know that one of them is going to be the woman who's currently TNA Amat. She's the interim superintendent. She's got to be one of the front runners. I mean, because she's in the interim position. She comes from within. She was a deputy superintendent. I mean, on some levels, it's like, who better, right? That's why a lot of people come internally when jobs like that come open, because who's got a better handle on things? Who can hit the ground running? Who knows what to do, where the staplers are? Who knows what a copy machine is? All the basic stuff, so to speak. But we shall see. Brother Polite may be next to sue Tasha K for slander. Is that right? Is that right? Man, I don't have no sympathy for her. Like, I respect what she's built, but this what you gonna do? Come on, man. Just keep it 100. But she made her decision. It worked for her. I'm sure she got the money to cover it. So Daryl writes, Simone thought it would be pandering to black people. I mean, is it pandering? Like, on some levels, yeah. All that stuff is pandering. No matter who you're running for election, all the stuff you say can be looked upon as pandering. You're telling people what you're going to do, and you're hoping that they like what they hear, so they'll vote for you. But it's not pandering if he actually does it. Then it's the plan. You see what I'm saying? That's how I look at it. Lindsey Graham is going to send out cousin Tim to speak out against any black Supreme Court nominee. He probably will. Bo Derek Bray's right. Sherilyn Ifill to fill Supreme Court. Roots Tafari's in the house. John is killing me. Charlie Wimber's in the house. Have a nice day. Absolutely. Listen, have a great day. Remember our motto: winners focus on winning, losers focus on winners. So stay focused and stay winning. Also, keep this in mind. Sunday morning, tap into the Sunday morning masterclass brought to you by our friends at Renew Community Church. This Sunday's topic: Stop opposing people, places, and things. Learn how to feel good, have fun, be happy, and enjoy life without opposing others. I think I can get down with that. Tap in on Facebook at facebook.com/CINCI Renew, and on YouTube at Renew Community Church live stream. And of course, if you go to their website, 3Ws.renewcommunitychurch.org, you can get free ebook and coaching as well. And that's my time, family. Have an excellent rest of your day. I really appreciate you. Have an excellent Thursday. I got several projects in front of me. To my Patreons, check the feed because I want to update you on something that's going on. I have found a new space. I want to tell you and show you all about it. So check your feed. I'll be posting throughout the day. Have an excellent day, family. And take care of yourself. I'll be back with you and hopefully better than ever tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Look for the streaming notification. And please share today's show as we build out, our show and our network. Support independent media. Until next time, I'm Nathan Ivey, and I'm out.